oh my, I like your eyes, like the way they look so sleepy, like, because without my glasses I look sleepy, and that deceived me. So remove those glasses. I refused. I'm telling you, when I came to the university level 100, right, I didn't wear glasses. Like
they played a video in class. Everyone's video was playing in the class. And people were like, why was I standing still as if I'm a statue? So after that course, after that semester, I decided I lost passion for journalism.
Being in a class where there are a lot of light-skinned girls and, like the beauty standard, the fair girls are the pretty ones and then the dark ones are the ugly ducklings.
Sorry.
So I was picked on a lot of times, like I was called out for my skin tone, that I'm too dark. And then another thing was my lips. They say, oh, my lips are too big. They even called me Mount Cameroon lips.
Hey you there, did you know that you could be a verbal bully? Let's talk about the impact of your verbal bullying on those around you and yourself. Welcome to the second episode of Verbal Bullying at the Next Gen podcast. Today, we're going to be talking about the impact of verbal bullying. Guys, what do you think verbal bullying does to a person's self-esteem?
Or it wrecks you.
How is that? How bad is the damage?
I think Whitney should be the speaker for this.
Okay, Whitney, let's hear you.
Okay, so like verbal bullying, like the impact it does to your self-esteem, like it crushes it. I remember it started way back in secondary school, but in my place we just call it secondary school, we don't call it SHS or anything. So being in a class where there are a lot of light-skinned girls and like the beauty standard, the fair girls are the pretty ones and then the dark ones are the ugly ducklings.
Sorry.
So I was picked on a lot of times, like I was called out for my skin tone, that I'm too dark, I don't fit into like the beauty standards, I'm not part of the popular gang. And then another thing was my lips. They say, oh, my lips are too big. They even called me Mount Cameroon lips.
Right.
Exactly. It was that bad. It was that bad. So at times I will cry a lot. I will just be so sad, and it made me step away from people. I didn't want to talk to people. I didn't want to put myself in positions where I have to talk to people, even if I wanted to so bad. But then I'm like, what's the point? Like, all they're going to see is my like what I don't have. They'll see my skin tone, they'll see my nose, they'll see my lips. Like, that is all what they're going to see, and they will judge me for it. So no point for me to even put myself there. So it really crushed me a lot. But with time, I had to like work on it. I'm like, I'm more than this. I'm more than my skin tone. I'm more than my appearance. So I wanted people to see me for me. And to do that is to accept myself, to love myself, and know that I am perfect.
Do you think that beyond psychologically, it does affect you physically as well? Does verbal bullying affect you physically?
Yeah, academically.
Okay.
I'm a perfect example. Academically. So, way back in level 300, I read a course, TV production and management. We had to shoot a news. So, the first time we shot the video, they played a video in class. Everyone's video was playing in the class. And people were like, why was I standing still as if I'm a statue? So after that course, after that semester, I decided I lost passion for journalism. I then changed into public relations advertising. And since I feel like I can't be someone who can stand in front of a camera and talk. Because people, at the end of the day, even if you don't say it to my face, they'll talk about it behind. And I don't want that to happen. So let me get respect to journalism. Let me just be behind the shadows and be working with my public relations and my advertising. So academically, it hinders some part that the individual can take.
The confidence.
Someone's story might be different from mine. Someone might be like, maybe the person said, have a bad handwriting.
Way back in SHS, someone stopped writing notes because someone said she was having a very bad handwriting. You see. So academically,
personally, I think it affects you physically as well. Because I remember one day going to the optometrist and put another, whatever they call that, lens on the lens. And I went and I'm like, no, this thing is thicker now. You know what happened? I went to class one day, I took off my glasses, and then they're like, the lashes are so beautiful. Oh my God, they're so long. That's the first time they were all complimenting me. So it's like, finally somebody is seeing me. Oh yeah, I moved the glasses. I put the glasses somewhere. I wanted to be admired. Like, the fans. Oh, 1 week, no glasses. 2 weeks, no glasses. I was struggling in class. Like, I cannot see what the lecture is written on the board. I'm still sitting there. Sometimes, like the spaces in the note. So, after 3 weeks, my eyes are hurting. My mother doesn't know that's what I'm going to do in the school. She's worried. Eyes are tearing up on, we go there and then, there's a new lens. And you know the funny thing? when the lens is added to it, the same people that were appreciating and admiring the long lashes, they're like, oh, the glasses are so thick. I'm like, are you people okay? So I feel like it's beyond self-esteem. It affects you personally.
You start to change.
You start to think differently. Like you want to look a different kind of way because yes, because even at a point they're like, so I said, girl, this is the kind of family you have. I don't have memories that I told my mother that I don't want to go for the vacation as they go. It's okay. I just want to sleep. So academically, it's true. It still affects you. So I think beyond self-esteem, honestly, it affects every aspect of your life. That's what
I think it's so true because in high school, like I hated my high school. It was just like really popular girls, like those girls who fit into the standard. And like it's not like they fit into a standard; they created that standard, and they made it like this should be how it is, and they controlled the like narrative, and then everyone started to follow it, and they had some sort of power through that, like the way they joined themselves together and create that power. And then their whole mission was to make other girls who were not beauty centered type shit. Like there are some girls that actually don't give a fuck about beauty. Like they're just really chill. There are a lot of girls who actually just want to exist. Yeah. They just want to be chill. And there are somewhat those chill girls are more concentrated in like education and stuff, right? Yeah. So you see those beauty girls, they pick on those education, like they call them nerds. Yeah. I was called nerd all through my high school. Yeah. And the worst part was now having to wear glasses. That was now worse. Yeah, now nerd. So it was so painful because like you're getting this nerd, being called a nerd, like being shut out of social spaces and like not being invited to parties. You want to go for this party so bad, but oh, she's a nerd, she's gonna be boring at the party. Nobody now wants to explore your other personalities. Nobody wants to care about how you are so much more than the glasses. You're so much more.
You hear things like you have a life.
How do you ask me if I have a life? And like what you said about how like they said your lashes were long, right? It's really so true because like even in high school they were like, oh man, I like your eyes, like the way they look so sleepy, like because without my glasses I look sleepy, and that deceived me. So I refused. I'm telling you, when I came to the university level 100, right, I didn't wear glasses. Like the whole level 100, just to see my I'm not seeing I'm complaining, I'm crying, I'm not seeing. It's burning. But I say, no, I never see that sleepy face. Like, and it's so fake because when I realize, like, when I look in the mirror, I'm like, what was that sleepy eye they were talking about?
It's annoying because I sit back and I'm like, can't you see the lashes from, like, can't you see?
It really makes no sense.
It affects every aspect of your life. But the next question is, are the consequences temporary or are they permanent? Because right now the lens is thick. I don't know when that shade of lens is going to be taken off. So personally, I think it has some permanent consequences.
Yeah. This theory.
So because there's this friend of mine that used to answer questions in class, but then he's not so, should I use the word intelligent? So anytime he gives an answer and it's wrong, after the class, that will be his new name. So every week this guy is getting a new name. So because of that, he no longer sits in front first. He will sit at the back. Whether or not he knows the answer, he won't do anything. And these affect him academically. Now, due to that, he doesn't appear among people any longer, because once he is there will be a name that somebody you have to call and it will affect him. So first he's isolate himself and then joining people, gatherings, all of those things. So his confidence that he was building at first, everything down to the drain. Now the question is, so when is he going to learn that all these things he can set them aside and he will build his own confidence? Exactly. So at the end of the day, he may not be able to build up his confidence unless there's some kind of interventions for this guy to rise again.
Guys, beyond self-confidence, how does it affect your relationship? Family, friends, other relationship? How does somebody has verbally bullied me? How does that impact affect my relationship with other people?
So let me ask you one question. Cute or short, that girl. How is the relationship right now?
Yeah, fine.
Fine, as in, oh hi, how are you?
No, we talk. When somebody calls her cute, I try not to laugh.
You try. I feel like verbal abuse creates a dent in the relationship we have with people.
Can never be worth it.
If you bully me verbally and I tell you to stop, the moment I tell you to stop, I will just draw myself away from you.
And sometimes even the verbal bully,
Yes.
the verbal bully, so it pulls away because it's like, how then do I relate to you if you are not?
So you see that you the victim, your socialization processes it becomes poor each and every day because you feel like if you go here, people will laugh at you. So let me just stay in my one corner and do my thing. Because so the relationship with people becomes.
No, but I don't agree with that too. Because we're actually ridiculous.
Can I say something about that? I think what he's trying to say is like we see ourselves based on how people see us. Okay, so like when you go into an environment, for example, and like this is your friend, and when you go to that friend, all she calls you is pretty. Every time you're with that friend, you're always going to feel beautiful. I'm telling you, and that's why you always want to go there because it makes you feel good, right? But when there is another friend, and all she does is pick up, you're feeling weight, why do you look like this? Hey, you're getting back out. Hey, look at that thing. Oh, look at this. They pick out everything about you, right? That's what when you go, that becomes the image. See, we see ourselves through the lens of others. So when even through the lens of society, we see ourselves, and through the lens of our religion and our culture, we see ourselves. If your culture is something that you value so much in your place, and then you go abroad, and that same culture is what people shit on, you would hide that culture. I bet you, no matter how old that you are, you would start to feel ashamed of that culture. Not because the culture itself is bad, but because the people that you are seeing yourself through have started to paint it as something scary. So it's really important that when you realize that people see themselves through you, you have to make sure that you give them a good image of themselves. Not be a beacon that when I'm in your environment or like when someone is in your environment, you're trembling like, hey, what is she gonna pick out next? Or hey, what's she gonna? She's gonna call me that cute. I don't want to hear that word. I actually do it. I really avoid a lot of people. I have them on my list. You see, the thing is when you heal and when you forget about how people pick at you or something like when people say bad things about you, you might heal and get better and like develop your emotional intelligence in this thing. You will never forget. You know, then by me, once you're in that environment, it will come back to you. Like once you're in that person's presence, that's how you start to see yourself again. Yeah. There are some people sometimes you just scare the moment you see them. It's like it's you again. And then you just start to avoid them. I know isolation.
Guys, let's draw a comparison, right?
Yeah.
Between the harms of verbal bullying and then physical action, which one is so severe?
Verbal bullying.
Verbal bullying. As compared to a slap or a punch.
Yes. Slap, yeah. It sticks in your mind.
You see that? It's like, would you know that the slap can also stick in your mind? Because
no. The pain. The pain the slap will come with is different from the trauma you can go through if someone verbally abuses
that
you.
That pain is the best trauma, do you know? No.
Oh, slap.
No. What if you beat me?
The thing is, everything hurts you. You can stumble your feet. You can like just get hurt. And then you forget about you. You start this chair. Why did you But when someone says something to you, your inability to hurt them back hurts you more.
Okay. If someone slaps you, you can slap the person.
Slap them back.
Fine. The person has said something about you. You can say something that.
Won't say that and it becomes like a stamp on your body. And if he saw you like through WhatsApp, he saw you and block you.
To some extent, you can feel remorse and apologize. But why do you just make a statement? I didn't react to it, but it hurt me. When will you know that I'm hurt and you apologize for it?
Statements. When you really tell me that I'm sorry, what my brain has rationalizing that statement.
At the end of the day.
True. Actually, there are many of them right now who are like, when they come back to your DMs, are like try to engage. Then you can think about all the bad things they've said to you. You can't trust them anymore. You can't. Like, it just scares you.
One time we're thinking about it. The reason why most relationships are failed because of verbal abuse.
Yep. It's the most unspotted, you know.
Your girlfriend beats you. Your girlfriend beats you. Fine, but
fine. No, what it? Okay, I can see the conversation that went on before he beat you. It hurts more.
There's a research that has that most times it's verbal bullying that leads to physical bullying.
Yes.
It starts as normal argument, exchange of words, then you say something that the person will not like.
Yeah, your communication student. Communication is key.
Attracts the sense of
Because
communication. So like you were saying, communication is actually key. So it's true. To an extent, verbal bullying actually harms you as compared to this. It depends. It depends on who is beating you. Because all those times when they used to lash you with a cane, it used to hurt more than somebody telling you that you have a big head. Guys, let's be honest. No. Yeah, some person insults them in your head. Actually, some people beat you silently.
I think before the beatings come.
And another thing is like when I beat you, like you have the scar, but the scars heal. The words they stay in your mind. You get like they're like it's like stamp. They've stamped it on you, man. Everywhere you go, if you look in the mirror, that's the first thing you see. Like you say, I say you're not smart. If you want to talk, that's the first thing your mind will say to you.
The way the brain works. But I have a question. You see, there's some people that behave like they're immortals. Like when I was being verbal bullied, I didn't realize at what point this thing was eating into my self-esteem. And it happens a lot in our senior high schools, in our junior high schools. At what point do I know that I'm not being nonchalant? This thing is entering my skin, it's entering my soul. Does it almost have to be after 6 years that you get to know that, oh my God, I have no self-esteem?
I feel like that moment you should know.
You should know. The moment you start to change your action, you get.
So at 12 years old, I was supposed to know I was being verbally bullied.
Maybe you didn't find out because you were brushing it off. You're like, no.
So how do I stop brushing it off? Because sometimes you're like, let's just do it's not any serious.
That's why we're calling it out. That's why we're trying to talk about it.
You just want to isolate yourself for some time, then people would have brushed that off. But at the end of the day, you realize that when that time period you gave yourself is up to you, you don't find it okay mingling with others again. That's where it starts. So you are not trying to leave them or disassociate yourself, but you are trying to, for you to recope with the situation, it becomes.
So I think for you to exist, you need to know yourself. Because at the point, I got defensive. Now I'm not even not just me, but I want to bully the other person. Ended up in the principal's office. I mean, that's a story for another one. It happens. So somebody is trying to verbally bully you, and you're in a classroom, and it's like you've had it up to here that you forget there is a teacher in the classroom. You give it to her, and the next thing you know, they're calling your parents, and I look at the bad child. Meanwhile, as at the time, everybody was on your neck. You have scars, you have this, you have this, you have this. Nobody really sees it. So I think you need to know yourself so that you don't wait for it to reach here, because it might not be the principal's office, it might be the police station. You end up.
Yes. Also, I feel like at the age of 12, at that age, you can't really detect if you're being verbally bullied or not. So that is like the responsibility of the parents. So if I have a child and my child is this active, bold child, like she's a vibrant kid, and then one day she comes back home and then she's so sad, she's sulking, I'll know that there's a problem somewhere. And the only way to investigate, I go back to the school. I question the classmates. You see, maybe one person has insulted her or done something to make her change her attitude. But if the parents don't watch their kids, they grow up with this, like they just come back home, they stop, they go into their room, like have you eaten at this? You don't ask them how is your day, like you don't.
So I think Whitney has brought up something very important, and it's something I commend my parents for. But the truth is, it doesn't just happen instantly. The moment they notice it, no matter what they do, it will take. Because my mom used to tell me so many times, like, you're beautiful. She used to call me baby. Like, you're too young to be thinking about your stomach. What is this school I'm going back to? Like, when I get there, I'm seeing ladies with flat tummy, and you get it. So it took a while for her to even transform me from that mindset. So I think in as much as our environment, our parents will try their best, you, the person, you need to come to the realization that, okay, I'm beautiful. I think that's where the whole thing actually
It's so liberating, actually.
She tells you, you're beautiful. He tells you, you're beautiful. It will take a while before you adjust to it. And that adjustment will come from believing that, okay, I'm Britney and I'm beautiful. Bye. Like, that's when you get that final peace of mind. Okay. So I think the next question I want to ask is, do you know anybody that has been to verbal bullying, or have you been to verbal bullying yourself? And how did you overcome it? Briefly, how did you come to it?
I think this one.
Yeah.
Let's be. I think then we should all go like on a straight line. Also, I'll be quick. So I have experienced verbal bullying, and I realized it when I noticed that I started to like shy away from the things I know. You know, like as a person who was always like encouraged by my parents to like work hard, pursue yourself, like read books, study and stuff. I never felt like that was a problem until when you go to class and not your classmates, 90% of them are not interested in those things. So they start to shoot, like, make you feel bad for being interested in those things. And then I realized then I started to slack in my education. But then when I got into like SHS, I was like, there is a bigger goal though. If these people are trying to make me, see, if you are trying to make me lose my interest in education and stuff, I have right to write. So it might be put off track of things that are important, but it would be very stupid for you as a person to let another human be the reason why you were put off track of your future. Like, it doesn't make sense that I will go and be telling my classmates that you're the reason why I didn't get admission. Nobody will listen to you. They lie to you. It's just unnecessary. Do you get? Like, so I realized then that the way to solve this and not be absolutely affected by verbal bullying is to remind yourself of what is objectively important. You have very important things in life. Like if you have to show up for a show or something and you are very camera shy, like me, I'm actually very camera shy. Because I'm in the camera because it is important. You get? Or like if I'm not even a social media person, but I'm here. It's important. So you have to just remind yourself that there are certain things that are important. So those your personal feelings should not matter at this moment, or your lack of confidence or you losing yourself because of other people should not matter at that moment. And then you realize how like you start to prioritize life more, and you start to show up for yourself.
You need to get a drive, like she's saying. She knows that okay, there's something at stake. So sometimes ask yourself, what's the importance? Because it's easier to stop when you don't find the importance. If she knew that writing YF wasn't compulsory, she probably wouldn't stress herself. So most times, maybe you should try to get that drive.
But I'd like to ask the other panel, based on what you said. You see, we all know ourselves, right? Regardless of how we might be oblivious to the things that matter to us, we still know ourselves. And yes, they called you, let's say, for example, from your story, they called you fat, right? But you still knew that you had to go to classes, right? So you're still going to classes.
Yeah.
But it was a slow process to lose that weight, probably, and then, like, now you're better. And life not move on. Those people still not move on. Like, what was the point of, as a person, for example, they called me fat, and then I don't show up anymore. Those people that called you fat will move on.
What happens and makes you not show up anymore is the impact it has on you.
Yeah.
Because I remember at a point when I spoke to people, when I speak to people, they're like, the voice is too loud, they're shouting. So now I start speaking very low, and at a point I realized that I have like 6 different kinds of voices. Voices where I'm okay with the people I'm with, voices when I'm with my parents, voices when I'm confident of what I'm saying. So many voices that was becoming difficult. Like the moment I start speaking like this, I know that girl, you don't know what you're saying. I realized it had that impact on me. Yeah. So sometimes you would show up, alright, but the impact sometimes it hits you.
Yeah.
So it takes a while. It took a while for me to start wearing skirts. It took a while for me to start wearing straight dresses. Because you enter and then the flawless people with no scars on their skin, they make it look like you just came out from fire or something. It's sometimes very difficult to still show up. So I think it does affect you. Yeah, I know.
But I'd like to ask Brittany how she showed up for like herself.
Okay, Brittany, let's hear you.
Okay, so I was so tired of people telling me what to do or trying to change who I am. I was so tired of crying. I was so tired of looking at myself in the mirror, and the reflection I see is someone that I don't want to be. So I was like, I'm done. I'm fed up. I can't be this way. I am Brittany. I am beautiful. I know what I want in life, and I can't let these people they're not even doing well in their life.
The funny thing is, sometimes when you overcome it, you're like, but you do not beautiful than you are.
Exactly. Like, you're like Melanie Poppy. What are you talking about? Like, So fine, so I was like, I'm just done with these people and I just want to focus on what I love doing, get into hobbies. Music actually helped me a lot to take my mind.
Find what you love.
Yes, find what you love.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I think that's great. So, what do you think bullies out there? In fact, everybody, because everybody watching us is a bully. What do you think they all need to hear?
Well, like, if you're bullying someone, you need to stop because it's not right. Morally, it's not right. It's not correct. And because if the person does the same thing to you, how will you feel? Like, put yourself in that person's situation. Because the Bible says, do what to others what you want them to do to you. So, like, put yourself in that situation. So, stop the bullying. Like, in this world, we have so much problems already. Like, just spread love. Don't add bullying to it. And I think just spread love.
Sorry, I think we should try to be more open-minded and unlearn the things. We should always be aware that I just know within the spectrum of things I have learned. Somebody I'm meeting right now is about to teach me more. Let me learn from. Just shut up. Yeah, yeah. So we need to be open-minded. Yeah. And I think we need to be observant.
Yeah.
The bully themselves, you the person. What does somebody say that gets to? We are oblivious of so many things. It's like we're trying to act like everybody else, but you need to understand yourself. This thing hurts me. I don't want this thing to hurt me again.
Because you said, I feel like the victim should also know that we are not trying to live to please other people. Yeah. And the bully should also know that there are consequences of that verbal attack or verbal statement on the victim. The consequence in a way that not only scars that could show that the person is hurt mentally,
The scar, the mental, the physical.
so I feel like both parties should know the consequences of verbal abuse on the victim.
Yeah. So guys, in a typical African society like ours, where the next driver that almost knocked you down is insulting you, the woman you just forgot your change with is calling you names, the lecturer is insulting you, your friends are jeering at you. Don't you think we've normalized verbal bullying in our society? If we have, why? What is contributing to that normalization? Because it's a serious issue. Or is it because in Africa we don't care about mental health? What exactly is the problem?
So, Oliver.
Yeah, I think it's normalized because like it's normalized in actually every society. It's not just African society actually. But when you talk about the normalization, it's because we laugh at it. Okay. And we also don't think of it as it's not that. We think of it as it's not that big, you get. So it makes it like it's not something we should be talking about or something we should feel too bad about. Like, did you actually take that thing she said to you to your heart? That's what you get if you told somebody that someone said something bad and you trivialize it. You get. So it then makes it in a way that you're now feeling guilty for thinking of your friend as a bully. Because it would be weird for me to say, Brittany, you're actually a bully for calling my forehead out. You get it? So like, it's now that we can't really say it's normalized. We say it has been like accepted in a way that it's somehow say it's like
the victims, the bullies,
all of us we are bullies. We are all agreed we are bullies.
So what you watch is me, I always go to Twitter. You go to Twitter and your issue pops up. And now TikTok too has added their own thing.
Instagram was
comment section.
Instagram, there is no mercy for
People think that it's the norm of the day.
Yeah.
Then people are doing
It's a style.
Yeah.
but you don't know the kind of effect to have on that particular person. I can watch some videos, the video is funny. Now decide to go to comment section. What people will say, you see, sometimes the video is not even funny, but what someone will say,
You laugh and you're like, I'm going to hell.
so yeah, we normalize verbal bullying. Even lecturers or as meetings and we are okay with it. You see. So I feel like
You're calling my word AI generated is verbal bullying. Guys, you need to start calling them out. Risky.
Can't voice out. The more you are voicing out, they consider you to be a weakling. That's it. And that will generate another thing altogether.
So we need to know when to balance the voice now.
I think it will now become that we all then have a responsibility by ourselves that you pick and choose what you absorb. And then you pick and choose what you give.
So while you are calling out, you are checking what you are absorbing as a person.
Yeah.
Okay, Brittany.
I feel like in the African setting, the reason why it's normalized is because most of the times, like, people are ignorant about what verbal bullying is. So people need to be educated about what verbal bullying is. You see, like the market women, the taxi drivers, they think like, oh, it's okay, like I'm just venting out, and they don't know what it is, like what they're doing, and they don't know the impact it has.
Just why you insulting me, the passenger in the car?
My advocacy for pushing that emotional intelligence to be a course in universities should happen.
Yeah.
I'm gonna ask you, we support you.
Yes.
Yeah.
Any final words? Any final words to the viewers? Any final words to bullies? Any final words to victims? Any final words to people who are now trying to overcome their bullying? We are fortunate enough to at least now it's not here, at least it's growing. What do you tell those
I
out
feel
there?
like if you are a university student and you are facing these challenges, the best option is to one, go to the counseling session. There are some people who listen to you. I'm doing a project on how students maintain relationships and psychological well-being in school, university, and it's been directed to the counseling session. The counselors have an open arms to these people and tell them that, oh, okay, you don't have to leave to please someone. You know, that's what I would say. You don't have to leave to please someone. Live your own life. Be you, always. If this is right for you, do it. The second one is to ask, like I said, we should start calling out. I think we also
Call them out.
we should start calling them out. And the bullies too.
There's actually not much you can do to bullies, because, like, as we already know, insecurity, and like you don't recognize that you're actually insecure, or you can recognize you are confident. So pay more attention to the things that make you confident than to the things that make you insecure. Because when you pay too much attention to the things that make you insecure, you are not able to see the things that make another person insecure. So like what you see becomes your reality, right? So if I'm seeing only faults in myself, how is it possible that another girl is not seeing all the faults in herself? Why are you know, like, it's not just looking perfect, like why are you acting like you're perfect? I have to remind you that you also have faults too. But when you see only your goodness, you would want to also remind another person, oh, you're good too, you know. And another thing is I will encourage people, in order to combat this cyberbullying, or like how to really structure your mind, is like read self-help books. They really help a lot. I'm telling you. Yeah. It might be that the words come out, but the things you read to stay in your mind. So when you read things, it becomes like a counter effect. So like positive self-talks and stuff, right? It's like, you talk, I talk. You talk, my book told me. The Bible told me, I'm seeing myself through God's lens and not your lens. So it then redirects how you approach these situations you get, and then you don't get too much absorbed, like in how, and then get too uncomfortable and stuff like that, and then become isolated all the problems and the impact and stuff we talked about.
That's true.
So yeah, like for those who are being bullied, call them out, seek help. Don't just say I'll just stay, I'll be fine, like I can handle it on my own. No, like seek help, do things that help you overcome that, get into hobbies, like what do you love, what are you passionate about, invest your time in things that are productive, and like Chidera said, listen to podcasts that talk about self-esteem, read books, like just live your life and be happy, pray more, especially like pray more, God first, and also parents, be more vigilant, like check your children,
And even siblings.
Yes.
check
Even friends. If you notice your friend is not more confident, you have a responsibility to make them
Like it's not
confident.
family.
Yes. Like be there, like be each other's keepers, like brothers and sisters. Be there for each other.
I think enough has been said, but then as individuals, we shouldn't support bullies. Okay, the situation where the person will start the thing and everybody else joins in. But when the person starts and you all draw back, the person will have thought of it.
Yeah.
I mean, we are all women, we think at times. Okay, but when the person starts, we think at times. I mean, you are doing the thing, but one day you sit down to, I mean, you think at times. So when the person starts, you are not to rebuke the person, but then just don't support the situation. Draw away, and the person knows that what I'm doing is wrong.
Wow. And if you bully someone, have the courage to go apologize.
I was going to say that. There's nothing wrong with going and saying that I realize you're not comfortable with this. I'm sorry. Just stop making it look like I did it yesterday. It hurt you yesterday. It hurt me yesterday. It still hurts me.
My mind.
Talk about it. Let's have open conversations about verbal bullying. And please, you the bully, you the victim, let's all call bullying out. A verbal bully is a verbal bully, and there is no excuse for verbal bullying. It was nice having you all here. See you next time.